Me. Hey everybody, Kevin here from HumboldtCraftworks. Welcome to another episode of Woodworking with Mr. Kevin. That's me. Welcome back to another episode. Can you believe it? It's only been like a couple, 3 or 4 weeks since my last one. I'm setting new records. So in today's video, what I got is I have a problem with my damn tape on my table saw. My 53-inch freaking metal tape. The numbers have been disappearing for months. And then you take a pen and you write in, oh, that's 12. And you put a little line and you write it on there and then you use your table saw. And by the end of the day, it's gone again. And you're like, where the hell did it go? What is happening? I have certain numbers that are just disappearing. I don't know why. Maybe you can help me figure out why. Or maybe it's happening to you. Or one day you have a 12 and then the next day it seems to be gone. All I see is 23 and then it's 25. What happened to 24? It disappeared. What happened to 24? Where'd it go? I'm gonna show you down here on the tape exactly what I'm talking about. And if it's happened to you, let me know in the comments below that, hey, this happens to me too. I don't get it. I don't get it either. And we're gonna check it out today. But what I'm gonna do is we're gonna run through a few things for replacing these tapes. I've done it so many damn times. I got my own little method going down here. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you on my tape what's missing. Before we remove the tape, what I'm gonna show you is how to properly mark where all the numbers go that are important. They're already on there. I'm just gonna do it again. And it's really important to get all these lines in a row and then put on some big ass glasses. So I got these pair which are 120s, and I got these that are 150s, and I got these that are 300s. Oh man, look at that. I can see a gnat's ass. So we're gonna put this on right here. Self-sticking, it's got the 3M thing on the back. Measure sticks, Stirrat. This is kind of I'm using from now on. The last couple of ones I put on there were garbage. And the Stirrat also says millimeters or centimeters or whatever kind of meters those are. What you want to do before you do this, if you ever have to do this, is the day before, take it out of its package and let it sit somewhere flat. And of course I didn't do that because I'm an idiot. It's not super imperative, but it does help. I've done this so many damn times, taking it out and putting it right down. Sometimes it rolls back up, sometimes it doesn't. It's nice to let these metal measuring tapes just lay flat for a while. They gotta relax. So today what we're gonna need is we're gonna need some calipers. We're also gonna need a scraper like this guy right here. This is a very hard putty knife and it's super sharp. I'm gonna use a little scribe like this. We're also gonna use the heat gun. And this is what started my career on the YouTubes. I don't know how many people watched that video, how to undo glue. 119,000 views. 5 years old, almost 1,000 likes, and 120,000 views almost. I'm gonna show you the tape and what it looks like first. Then I'm gonna show you how to mark it up using this in a square. And we're gonna put lines on it so we keep it parallel with where it is now. But in between all these things that we're doing now, we gotta clean it up. We gotta scrape it off with this. We gotta take the heat gun, heat it up, and take it off. We're basically gonna do a little tune-up on the saw today. This is what happens when you work for yourself. You gotta do all your own maintenance. Can't make a phone call. Yes, can you come adjust my fence? You gotta learn how to do this crap yourself. I'm gonna show you everything I know on how to do this the correct way. And hopefully all this shit makes sense. Okay, if you're having the same freaking problems I am, give me the old thumbs up for that and subscribe. Because we're in the same club. That's what people do, you know? You help each other out. All right, ready? And here we go. So you can see, as we're looking here, it goes from 11 and then 13. The 12, you can kind of see it. And you see the 1 foot? There it is. 1 foot. You can't read it. So usually you put a pen mark there and off you go. There it is again, right? 23, 24 is missing. See, that tape's pretty beat up. But 35, there's 30, 36 should have been in there somewhere, and then there's 37. And there's 47. That's where 48 is supposed to be. 49. See, where's 48? They all seem to have disappeared. Now here, if you look at 50, see 50, see that line I have there? That's from 1,000,000 years ago. So we have a line at 50. So there's a line there that goes all the way to 40, right on the money. From 0 all the way to 50, we have these little lines, and that's what we're gonna follow. What we're gonna do next, and there's already a line there. Right where I have that, I've scribed this down on that line, all the way across there. We're gonna make a mark, and we're gonna come across and just do this. All the way across the top of the tape. And you can do it at the bottom of the tape also. Super easy to do. We have the 0 right there. I'm gonna mark that right here on the 0, and I'm just gonna come with this and put a light line, just like that. There it is. Okay, 10's gonna do the same damn thing. I'm gonna come up till we're on the 10 line. Okay, that lines up with that. All right, now we're gonna continue on here. Let's see, here's 30. So it's better if you come right over the top and just mark it. right over the top of the 50. Boom, just like that. Okay, now that we've done that, we have our square right here. We have it set to 1 1/8. We're gonna use this side up, the little notch in it where the tongue actually holds it in place. And that's because I don't want to get locked down in there. I just want to follow this tape all the way down. Here we go. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing here, which I think is like 1/4 of an inch. So what I'm doing, I'm putting this down, I'm putting the thickness of this scribe in between them, and we're just gonna scribe it. And yes, this is gonna dull your scribe. Okay, there it is. Yay. All right, here's where it gets noisy. Take our heat gun, gonna put it on high. Gotta put your safety gloves on. Man, that thing's hot. Always put them on the wrong hand, because that's always a good thing. No! We have our tape laid out here. It's relaxing. This tape here is gonna get hot. So now we're gonna take this, put it on high, and we're gonna remove this. And we're just gonna wiggle it back and forth like this. I don't know if I can zoom in. We're gonna take this and run it back and forth and just get it warmed up. And once you get glue at a certain temperature, it'll start melting real easy. And then you can just take it like this, kind of keep ahead of it, and it'll just come off. I'm trying to push this off, just like that. I'm putting no effort into shoving it whatsoever. I'm just putting heat above where I'm cutting this off. All right, and if I take it away, it gets much harder, see? I put it back on there, let it heat up a little bit. It's just super easy. This is how it comes off, super simple and easy. All right, put it right in front, kind of aim it towards the 7 and 6, and with no effort, it'll just come right off. You don't have to scrape it, you don't have to push hard, you don't have to beat it with a hammer. What? Just simple heat gun. There it is. Woo. Now we're gonna try taking this off with the heat gun, put it on low. Let's see what this does.
A few moments later.
Yeah, low sucks. So I'm gonna put it on high. See, getting warmer, glowing. All right, now it's on high. We have the flat end down. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. We're kind of pushing the heat forward. It comes off. See how nice and clean that is? That worked out pretty well. This, not so much. So we're gonna break out some lacquer thinner. All right, we're gonna let this cool down a second. Because if it's hot, the lacquer thinner will just flash off faster and you can put it on there. And it stinks. We're gonna open up the garage door a little bit, turn on the fan, listen to our brand new garage door opener. We'll start back here and we'll just put out a line, just like that. And we'll see if this drags it off or not. Oh yeah, pretty good. There, that came off pretty good. Now we're just gonna go up here and do the same thing. We're gonna do the flat side down, not the beveled. And we're just kind of, there it goes, there it is. Go all the way down. The longer you let it sit, the more apt it's about to take off the paint. We're gonna cover that with a sticker anyway. Feels really good. Take our 3M pad, the white 3M pad. Do the same thing, just a little drizzle. All right, pretty good. Another thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the rust that's been on there for a while. Now it's very shiny underneath. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's because there used to be shiny paint on this thing at one time. This saw is probably 10 or 12 years old. And there's nothing shiny about it anymore. One last pass, and then we're gonna take a Scott blue paper towel. What we're gonna do now is just make one final pass with these, super clean, wiping it down. See, hardly anything comes off except the rust. You don't want any of that gooky crap anywhere. Sandpaper, scissors. Okay, if you have a pair of sandpaper scissors, they're only good for sandpaper, and that's it. If you try to cut anything else with them, they won't work. But sandpaper, it'll cut fine. 1200. Let me see if I can sand this. Yeah, it is kind of working. It's got so much schmutz on it, it's crazy. All right, there it is. So one more wipe down with some lacquer thinner, and there we go. Now we're gonna take this beautiful thing here and lay it out. Now this one's way too long. This is a 6-footer. The tapes that go in here are usually only 53 inches. All right, let's see if this is gonna work. Got my big ass huge glasses on right here so we can see that line. That's right there. And we also have some shitty orange tape. This tape doesn't really stick very good, which is good for what we're doing here. What I'm doing now is I'm gonna line a little line there. I'm gonna line those two up together. Top line and this line lined up with 0. I'm gonna wing you out a little bit here. This one's lined up perfectly. All we're doing now is going to take some more of this orange tape. We're going to stick the tape to the tape, and we're going to pull it up to the line and line 10 up with that line there. We're going to do this all the way down. Okay, we're at the 20 mark. I put the tape on the Stirret tape. I'll line that up with the line. Put it down. I'm going to cut this off at, let's just go 55 inches. All right, so we have this. You see what I'm doing? I'm removing that. I've got that lined up with that, and we're pulling this way. As we're going, we're going to just remove each one of these. Line it up, make sure the 10's still lined up with the 0. It is. We're just going to keep pulling this out. And we're pressing that down into place. The 20 lines up with the 20. Sorry about that, I lost it. All right, so at the very end, we're just going to take this. We're going to pull with my thumb, lining up the lines up with the lines. And bring it this way. 50 lines up the 50 line. And then we just do this, boom, off it goes. All right, there it is. Last thing we're going to do is just take a random stick, push down. We also take a paper towel or whatever and just shove it down there. Make sure there's no air bubbles in there. Sometimes I like to sand the end just so it's not so damn sharp. The fence won't go out this far anyway. It only goes to like 53 and falls off. We only have one other thing to do, and that's the test when we rip something on the table saw. The other tip I want to give you is do not clean the table saw tape measure with anything like lacquer thinner. Lacquer thinner will take the red off. I don't know why the black stays and the red doesn't, but that's what seems to happen with this. So if you're thinking about replacing the tape on your table saw, if your fence is on the right side of the blade, you're going to need a tape that reads from left to right. 0 left to 53 on the right. All right, everybody. Well, there you go. Do not use lacquer thinner to clean your tape with because it will take off the redness. This was all wear and tear, I'm pretty sure, because it just comes off easier. I don't know why the black sticks and the red doesn't, but that's just the way it is. Probably a planned obsolescence, you know, because now everything's made in China. Stirret used to be, all made in America, good to go. Now it's made in China. At least the tape part is. So the next thing we're gonna do is do a little test. I'm gonna set the saw up, grab a piece of wood, join one edge, make sure it's nice and straight. Calibrate it with the calipers here. All right, everybody, here we go. We're gonna do a quick little test. So this side right here is jointed, 1.5 inches. We're gonna cut this to 1.25 inches. I'm gonna set our little tiny thing here to 1.25 inches. And we're gonna rip this and see how it works. 1.25 inches on the money. The only other thing I can show you right now, when you're working on your saw, other than to wax your table, there's a video on how to wax your tools over there. It's very important. And while you're replacing all that stuff, you might want to just double check things. The best way to double check your fence is to take and lock your fence into place. Now I'm going to take a square that I know is square because it's a Stirret, loosen this up, butt it up against the edge there, tighten that up, and we're going to slide it all the way down the end. If it doesn't pinch, it stays the same everywhere. This is the way I know my fence is totally square to my glides, which is super important, especially when you're making jigs and you want everything to be square. Make sure you blow this area out with air a lot. Replace your blades when they're dull. Don't overuse your blades because that's kind of dumb. And if your blade doesn't want to go down all the way for some reason, probably because you have a clog up over on this side where the trunnions go up and down. It's got way too much sawdust in it, especially with saw stops. They have a tendency to do that. And also when you flip them over on 45 degrees, they really have a tendency to fill up that little slot down there. And then when you bring them back to 0, they're usually full of sawdust and you can't lower your blade so it's below the plate. Anyway, there you go. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell and all that stuff. And I'd like to give a big shout out to George Rainier from Alaska. Thank you for your donation to the cause. It blew my mind. Literally thought it was fake for like a day, and it wasn't. Awesome. So anybody else wants to help out with the cause, there's a PayPal account down below or a Venmo, whatever the hell that is. You can donate to the cause and help me buy a new light. What George gave me, I actually paid for new torsion springs for my shop door. Nice. Because they broke. I thank you very much for your donation. It means a lot. It really helped out, and it couldn't have came at a better time. And thank you. If you ever need anything, email me down below. So if anybody have any questions, need something answered, or just want to say, hey, woodworking with Mr. Kevin at gmail.com. In the next video, we're going to be either building something weird for me or making weird legs and all the little tips and tricks I know that I've been using in my head for the last 35 years of woodworking. You have an awesome day. Go outside and play. Hug somebody you love. Be safe out there, and I'll see you next time right here on Woodworking with Mr. Kevin. Shouldn't be long now. We got a lot of stuff to build here in the shop while it's about to snow and rain for the next week. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Subscribe now.